How would your life change if you started thinking about tomorrow instead of right now? What would that do with your life? How would you experience life differently? Hello, welcome to day 54, 53, I don't know, I lost track, of talking to a camera every single day. Welcome in. And today, as you just heard, if you were listening, you probably weren't, that today we're going to be talking about tomorrow and the things we do for tomorrow. Like, for example, you revise not for today, hopefully, unless you revise just before your exam, which is not a good idea. Normally you would revise for the future. You revise for an exam that's in the future. You do work so you can have money to spend in the future. You do any of these things. You go to training so you'll be a fitter person in the future. Any of these many things, you're working towards a world of tomorrow where you're in a better position. And a lot of negative habits we see are focused towards the world of today, right now. Like, for example, taking drugs. If you take some sort of drug, some substance, doesn't matter what it is, right? It makes you feel better in the moment. You feel great in the moment, unless it's ketamine. And then afterwards, you're just like, wow, that was shit. And I just spent like 50 quid on that. What a waste. What a waste. So this does also apply to other unhealthy habits. It's not just drugs. Like, it could be like spending too much time on social media. It could be any bad habits, but bad habits are habits that are focused towards today, and the good habits are the ones that are focused towards tomorrow. And tomorrow doesn't just mean literally like the next consecutive day. Tomorrow means like your future life, how you're going to experience the world in the future, how difficult or easy is it going to be, how nice or destructive is it going to be. You can have an effect on your personal world through building strong habits in the right areas and getting rid of the bad habits in the wrong areas. After having 2 weeks off of social media, it's not a big deal, it's not that long of an amount of time, but I do have a lot more clarity mentally. It's just, I'm not like, before I'd wake up or I'd scroll on TikTok for a bit or something like that. Now I just wake up, and if I don't want to get out of bed, I'll just sit there, and I don't have this constant stream of entertainment. I don't have to be constantly entertained to just sort of live. Do you know what I mean? I can just sort of relax, and I don't have to have all these stimulants going on in my head, because especially social media is an easy example to use because we almost all use it. And when you use social media, it's just like, especially TikTok or just like Instagram Reels, these sorts of high stimulant, like, you're basically just slamming dopamine into your brain, and your brain's like, no, I don't want any more dopamine. I don't need more dopamine. And so it sort of like takes in less dopamine, and the dopamine is like less effective, right? For example, if you're a homeless person and someone gives you 100 quid, that's pretty decent. Like, that's going to do a lot for you. That's going to pay for meals. That's going to help you out quite a lot. If you were to give a really rich man, let's say you went up to Elon Musk, you're like, dinner's on me, have 100 quid, first of all, he wouldn't accept it, but if he did, the effect it would have would be so small, because you would have to give him a massive amount of money just to be able to get the same effect. Now take that to dopamine. You give someone who doesn't experience a lot of dopamine cycles a little bit of dopamine, great. It's in their brain, feels good. If you give someone that's constantly watching TikTok a little bit of dopamine, they don't care. It's not enough dopamine to force them to sort of focus on something else. And that is why social media and stuff is so addictive. and it's such a detrimental habit because it doesn't build towards your future life. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Crickets.